Hey everybody, it's Femtrooper, and today Ren from Hallowed Be Thy Game and I are going to be talking about our top games that surprised us and shocked us. Games that we didn't think we would like, but we did. Have you ever played a game that ended up totally shocking you? Like, you had no idea you would like it, and it ended up being one of your favorites? Well, that's what this list is about, and I am so excited to talk about 5 games that I just fell in love with, and I really didn't think I would like them. Today is also my very first collaboration on the channel. Very excited. I've never done this before. I am so excited to have Ren from Hallowed Be Thy Game. He's an awesome YouTuber. Please check out his stuff. It's really good. It's really professional. Seriously, check it out. I love his channel. Huge fan, and he's become a good friend of mine. So please definitely go see his content after this because you will not be disappointed. I'm honestly, from the heart, it's really good stuff. I'm going to start the list off today with a game that I had no idea I would end up liking so much, to the extent of this series is now one of my favorite series of all time. I am obsessed with it, and it's not that I maybe didn't think I would like it, but it shocked me just how much I did like it. I just fell in love with it, and that is the Yakuza series, but I'm going to pick Yakuza 0 because Yakuza 0 was the first one that I played. And my God, it is so good. It's so good. It's a great, this is where you start. If you've never played one, start here. Start with Yakuza 0. You can start with Like a Dragon, but it's completely different and it's like kind of a new storyline. So if you want to just start fresh, I would go with 0. It's great. It gets you into the type of games that they are. I had no idea. I didn't know a lot about them. And then a few people on Twitter had recommended that I start with 0. And my goodness, I am so glad that I did because it is just a fantastic series. It's wacky, it's weird, it's twisted, it's serious, it's dark. You know, you're gasping, you're laughing, you're crying. It's everything in the best way possible. It is so wacky. I don't know how, I've always said it's the most Japanese thing I've ever played, and it truly is. It's really good. It's a crime drama, but it's ridiculous. It's just so weird. Go watch videos if you don't know anything, but it definitely surprised me because I, played it, thought it was going to be kind of a cool thing. I don't know if I thought it was like GTA of Japan. So wrong. I don't know what I thought, but I was completely blown away and super surprised by how much I loved it. The characters are great. Kiryu is one of my favorite characters ever in video gaming history. Just love him. And just the gameplay is fun. It's a brawler. It's just fun. It's different for me. Not really my style of game, I guess. I don't play games like that, but for some reason it's okay here. I just love it. And man, it's the zaniness, the wackiness. I just can't get enough, to the point where now I'm trying to play through every single one. I have not beat all of them, but I've definitely played through, I think at this point, Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2, and Like a Dragon. So I played through 4. So now I have to play 3, 4, 5, 6. But I'm, really excited. It's fantastic. Please do yourself a favor and at least try this series. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But man, it's great. Please definitely try it. So let's hear from Ren with what his first game is on the list.
Hello everyone, Ren from Hallowed Be Thy Game here, and for those of you who may not know, I am a massive fan of JRPGs, Metroidvanias, and the occasional shmup. I just want to thank Femtrooper so much for this opportunity to come on today and just nerd out with you all about 5 games I wasn't expecting to fall in love with. And my first game for today's list is Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse for the Nintendo 3DS. Now, to give you a little background information here, I had actually played this game many years ago when it released, and it kicked my butt, and I almost traded it in, but I held on to it. Then I would go on to play Persona 5 Royal, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 3, and throughout that journey, I fell in love with the entire series of the press turn battle system, but I also learned how the fusion system would work when you're making your units, making them stronger. Because the first time I played SMT4 Apocalypse, I was trying to kind of play it like a Pokemon game, where you essentially keep your units, you want to upgrade them, and you grow attached to them. That ain't the case in Shin Megami Tensei. They are cannon fodder to become more powerful. And once that kind of clicked with me, I was willing to jump back into the Shin Megami Tensei universe, and I fell in love with Apocalypse and SMT4. Now, there is a little bit of controversy around this game. I'm not going to get into that, but it is kind of a deviation from the norm in terms of the themes and the characters and such like that. However, when it comes to gameplay, SMT4 Apocalypse friggin' rocks, and it is some of the best gameplay the SMT genre of games has to offer. I cannot sing this game's praises enough. It clicked with me, and exploring the destroyed ruins of Tokyo enthralled me. It's a little spooky at times, and it's definitely very graphic if you have a queasy stomach. However, for those who are interested in a more challenging turn-based game, SMT4 Apocalypse is a great entry point into that system.
Thank you, Ren. Awesome pick there. That's a game that I've never played, but I feel like I owe it to myself to at least try maybe 4, because I do own SMT4. I know. I don't know if it's my thing, but I gotta give it a shot. So for my second game, I'm going to pick a 3DS game. And it is one that I had no idea I would actually really fall in love with as well. Another series that I've really gotten into. I wouldn't say it's my favorite series of all time, but definitely one that when a new entry comes out, I'm always buying it. So hands down. And that is Fire Emblem Awakening. There we go. Love this series so much. I had never played a strategy RPG when this came out. And Fire Emblem Awakening was kind of like a resurgence of the series. When it came out, we hadn't really had one for a while, and I didn't really know much about it. I was kind of a noob, and a bunch of friends said, you gotta check it out, it's Fire Emblem. And I'm like, okay. So then I tried the demo, and I went, whoa, this is really cool. This is, again, at the time, I had never played an SRPG before, so I didn't know much about it, and it kind of freaked me out, so I just never had. This was a while ago, so this is what, came out like 10 years ago, so yeah, I had no idea what I was gonna do with this, and tried the demo, and I thought, oh my god, it kind of feels very tabletop-like I was playing a board game, like moving characters around, and oh my god, it's awesome. I love SRPGs now. Now, keep in mind, I really, really am terrible at them. So if there's an SRPG that comes out that is like, there's no easy mode, I'm probably not going to play it because there's just no way I suck. But I enjoy them. I really like them. So if there's a mode for me, I will definitely be on board. I really, really enjoyed it. So ever since then, I've been getting into the genre more and more. I think I've played a lot of the Fire Emblem entries that have come out. Three Houses actually didn't really jive with me so much because it was like a school thing, so I know a lot of people like that, but I wasn't as into it. But I did enjoy Birthright, so like Fates, I really like that. But yeah, really like Fire Emblem now, so whenever a Fire Emblem game comes out, I'm there. I'm just automatically buying it, and absolutely, I just love the concept of seeing in like a entire map and moving units around and kind of doing your thing, and it's really cool. It's so different from like turn-based normal JRPGs or even action JRPGs. It was just so different. I don't think the stories in Fire Emblem are like blowing your mind, but there's something really fun about the gameplay that is very addictive, and I can't get enough. So absolutely love Fire Emblem now. On to you, Ren, for your second title.
Now for my second game on today's list, I have Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age. And this is a game similar to SMT4 Apocalypse. I played it a little, and it did not mesh with me at all. I felt the combat was way too slow. I felt like I was just auto-attacking everything. It didn't jive with me at all. I put it down, and about a year went by, and I had some friends kind of do another pitch of the game to me where they said, if you give it a little bit longer, about 8 hours, and the game really picks up. And for the record, I hate that reasoning to play a game. Because honestly, if a game can't hook you in 8 to 10 hours, that is not a good sign. However, Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age definitely was that for me. I hopped back into the game and kind of pushed through the drought of not that interesting of combat mechanics, and then the gambit system opened wide up for me. I fell in love with this game. I think the Gambit system is a brilliant system that I would love to see come back in more modern entries. I definitely recommend everyone give this game a shot, and just to know, if you're having a little hard time getting invested in the beginning, I was right there with you. But now I love Balthier and Fran. I think they're some of the greatest characters in the whole Final Fantasy series. And I found that the more grounded, realistic approach of Final Fantasy XII's story was just enthralling. The political intrigue, everything about it, it felt very visceral and real. And it's absolutely one of my favorite games of all time now.
Final Fantasy XII. I know that's a game I'm supposed to play, and I know there's somebody out there who knows who they are, who wants me to play it really bad, so maybe one day I'll have to just give it a shot. My third pick is Luigi's Mansion 3, and the reason I bring this up is because I'd never played a Luigi's Mansion game before. It's not really surprising that I would like it so much, but I was just shocked at how much I did like it. What a fantastic game. I've talked about it enough, so I'm not going to spend too much time here, just, going gaga over it or whatever, but it was just really a solid game. It's perfect in every way. The music is great. The gameplay is great. Just every single level and design and the sound, everything about it was just fantastic. It was really good. I was sort of at the mentality of it might not be for me, it might maybe be boring, like I'd never tried one before. You're just kind of looking and searching for things. It's so much more than that. What a fantastic game. I honestly, when another one comes out, which I'm sure it will because I think this one did really well, when another one comes out, I'm buying it for sure. Like, that'll be a day one for me because I just fell in love with this. It was excellent. Super, super well done. The design of the game, like, flawless. It's so good. So I highly recommend Luigi's Mansion 3. Please, definitely give it a shot. Now let's check out Ren's third pick.
Now for my third game on today's list, I have Catherine Full Body. I played this on the Nintendo Switch, and I was initially very put off by this game because I am not into puzzle games at all. And this game is extremely focused on its characters, story, but the gameplay is kind of a puzzle-based system where you're ascending and you have to kind of move blocks around to be able to find the correct path and such like that. I was very off-put by that. But I had heard time and time again that the characters and stories were worth it, and I do want to reassure people that there are difficulty settings in this game that make it much more approachable to people who are not open to the genre. And hey, if you are in the genre, you can crank the difficulty slider on this thing up, and it is going to give you a nice challenge. But that said, I will say this is one of the most unique video games I have played in my life. It feels like you're playing an episode of The Twilight Zone doing a crossover with Twin Peaks. It is weird. It is fascinating. The characters are lovable. You care about each and every one of them. This is a modern day love story where everything is not just cut and dry. It's not just right and wrong. There's shades of gray in there. It's fantastic. I was enthralled start to finish, and I cannot recommend Catherine Full Body enough to anyone who is looking for a good story in a game.
Definitely a game that I need to pick up. I need to check it out. I really like the art style from the Persona series. It's so cool. I definitely want to check out Catherine. So yeah, it's kind of been in the back of my head for a long time, and I think I just need to make that final step and just buy it. So maybe soon. I don't know. My fourth pick is another strategy RPG. It's not because it was a strategy RPG. Here, let me just show it. So it's Triangle Strategy. Beat it a couple months ago and thought it was one of the best games on the Switch. It is phenomenal. It is fantastic. I have nothing but great things to say about it. Great story. Like, you're really hooked. You are so into it. Every chapter was like, what is gonna happen? You were literally, your jaw drops. You're like, whoa, no way. And you have to make crazy decisions where you're like, oh, okay, if I do that, that's gonna completely change the story. Or if I do this, oh my god, I don't know. So really cool. I highly recommend. But the reason it shocked me was when this was first announced, I knew it was the same people basically. It looked like Octopath Traveler. And so immediately you're thinking, well, that's great. I didn't like Octopath Traveler. Octopath Traveler to me had a really bad story. It had great gameplay, great music. The visuals are outstanding. It looks great, but it was so grindy to a point where I quit because I just can't. It was gonna take me, I just could not stand it. It was just painful to me, and the story was just not that great. It was so grindy it hurt. So then I thought, oh my god, Triangle Strategy will be boring and will be very hard and I won't want to play it. So then I just, it came out, the demo came out, and I had no interest, and I just thought, whatever, this is not going to be for me. It's like Octopath, it's not going to be for me. And then I decided to give the demo a shot when I think they released the second demo, I think it was, and because I'd heard they made difficulty modes, and I was like, okay, because I suck at SRPGs, but if I can maybe play it on an easy mode, then maybe I'll like it. So sure enough, there was an easy mode. There are 2 easy modes, and I thought, this actually looks pretty cool. I'm digging the story. It's going to transfer my save when I get the, the normal game. And so I was really hyped. So then I got Triangle Strategy, and it didn't disappoint. And I'm completely shocked because I really put this game off. I was originally never going to play it at all. And it turns out it's phenomenal. So there you go. Sometimes demos are great, but listen to what people have to say or give things time. Maybe sometimes they work out some kinks and glitches, so you never know. So I'm just blown away by Triangle Strategy. I highly recommend it. I'm sure I'll talk about it again in another video, but it's really, really good. It was very interesting. I was just blown away by the story and how, let me say this, how different it felt from Octopath Traveler. So if Octopath Traveler turned you off because you were like, that's boring, or it's too grindy, or it's too hard, or whatever, like the way it did with me, Triangle Strategy is completely different. So give it a shot. Now on to Ren for his fourth pick.
My fourth entry, I have Dust Diver. Now this is a game I purchased on a whim, and every once in a while Amazon's recommended section can kind of come through with a save, and it was definitely the case here. I wasn't expecting to like this game that much. Let me be clear, I kind of love indie or AA quality games. I can look past a little bit of jank and have fun with just about anything. So I didn't have the highest of expectations for Dust Diver, but when I popped that sucker into my Switch, I was glued start to finish. This is absolutely an incredibly charming Persona-like brawler. If you love Persona 4 and that aesthetic and that feel, that kind of ragtag group of adventurers going up against a dangerous threat, this is just for you. It feels like a summer adventure encapsulated in a game. The combat mechanics of the first one are very serviceable, and I cannot recommend it enough to anyone who's looking for that.
Definitely a game that I'm curious about. I'm sort of on the fence still because I've heard mixed things, but I know that Ren has said it was really cool and really good, and there is sort of this fun anime vibe going on to Dust Diver that makes me want to check it out. So, maybe one of these days I will cave and pick it up. So let's talk about my final pick here. I'm gonna say it shocked me in how much I liked it, like how much I liked it. It shocked me because I didn't expect to become obsessed with it. So yes, very surprising. You guys know it's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Yeah, this game is a really fun game. So I'm not gonna say it's the best game out there. So fair enough. Somebody might play it and be like, that was great, but why is Femtrooper losing her shit? Because it was my introduction to Dragon Ball Z, I fell in love with it. So I got to experience the Dragon Ball Z story through this game. So everything comes from this. So because of it, I can't ever go back. I like the game because the story was incredible. And if you already knew the story, it wouldn't blow your mind or shock you or surprise you. You already know what's going to happen. But I didn't know. And turns out Dragon Ball Z is the best thing on the planet. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed Dragon Ball Z Kakarot because forget the story. It is a really fun game. It looks great. I actually really enjoyed the anime visuals. It's like the cell shaded, like it looks awesome. It really does. And it was just a fun kind of world to explore. Even though Dragon Ball Z is sort of a barren, weird world, it was actually really fun just flying around. I enjoyed that a lot, and I just enjoyed all of it. The battling was fun. You got to basically play through all these epic, famous battles that are in Dragon Ball Z that everybody knows about and everybody talks about. So you got to experience the whole thing, but you got to do it. When Gohan does blank, you're Gohan, you get to be that. When Piccolo does blank, you're Piccolo, you get to do that. So it was kind of fun instead of just watching. So I really enjoyed it. It definitely, there are aspects of it that take from the anime, but a lot from the manga, so it's kind of a combo, because I've never seen the anime yet. One day I'll do that, but I have read through the entire manga, so it was kind of fun to compare the two, like, oh, that must have been an anime only thing, and then, because I've read the manga. Loved it. And yeah, it just blew my mind, because I didn't expect to play this and then have Dragon Ball Z become like my favorite anime franchise. I did, or you know what I mean? I didn't expect that to happen, for it to be so meaningful to me. I just thought, oh, I want to, Dragon Ball Z is cool, I guess. I just want to check it out. I did not expect to fall in love with Dragon Ball Z, and I did, and it's so cool, and I feel like I'm part of this awesome fandom now, and it's fantastic. Dragon Ball Z is great. If you've not checked out Dragon Ball Z, please, I'm telling you, as someone who waited till they were like 32 to check it out. I was 32 when anyway, definitely play this game because it's really fun, and you don't have to know anything about Dragon Ball Z, so you can go in blank, and it's Dragon Ball Z, so you gotta just play it, because now I want to play everything Dragon Ball Z. On to Ren for his final pick.
Now for my last game on today's list, I have kind of an off-the-wall pick. Well, at least it probably will seem off-the-wall to people, but Bloodborne. Now let me explain. I know this is one of the most beloved video games of all time. Many people say it's one of the best games on the PlayStation 4. However, I was so off-put by the difficulty, hype, and myth and legend around the Soulsborne series that I wanted nothing to do with it. However, I am a massive fan of Lovecraftian horror, and I was watching a list on YouTube, and funny enough, people said if you love Lovecraftian horror, you need to play Bloodborne. That's all I knew about it, and that's all I'm going to say here, but I decided that I would brave the difficulty of the game and just see what it was like. I dived in, and it sucked me in start to finish. Absolutely one of the greatest video games ever made. It's amazing, it's spooky, it's eerie, it's fascinating, and even though it is a difficult game, it is a fair game. And let me tell you, if I can beat Bloodborne, anyone can beat Bloodborne. It's not as bad as the hype or legend or mythos is around it. It's just an excellent game and absolutely worthy of anyone to play if they're looking for a Lovecraftian action RPG experience. Well, that wraps up my list today. I want to thank Femtrooper so much for this opportunity to come on and just nerd out with you all today. I had a blast hearing about your games that you weren't expecting to like, but I also can't wait to read everyone's down in the comments. I hope you all have an incredible week, and I will see you all next time.
Bloodborne is probably not for me, but hey, this video is about games that surprised us. So, what if I played a game like that and it ended up becoming like my favorite? No, I don't think so. I'm really, really happy to have done this video. Super fun to do a collab with another YouTuber and friend. It was just so fun. I want to do more of these. They're really cool. They're super fun to do, and I've done them, but I don't think I have any on my channel. So it was really cool to do that and to kind of make this happen. And this has been in the works for a really long time, but because I had family over and then I was sick, that's why I'm making a video so late here. If you're like, where have you been? That's why. I've just been, anyway. I'm here. I'm back. We're making videos. I'm happy. I never stopped gaming, so I definitely have a lot to share and talk about. Tons of games that I've been playing recently, so hopefully maybe that's a video in the future. But yeah, really happy. Please, again, check out Ren's channel. Everything is in the description below, so you can find his channel super easily. Please subscribe, and subscribe to me too, and I will see you guys later.